Jackie's new flesh-coloured stilettos were supposed to make her legs look longer, but the heels just sank into the canal path, stifling her step and making her tights muddy. This was not the classy wharf she had imagined, and the Lady Louise was not the yacht. The Lady Louise's long, narrow hull sat low in the murky water, her name painted in dark blue down her peeling red side. Someone had scratched an R in the paint between the A and the D of lady. At least the vandals had something to smile about. Jackie stepped off the path onto the boat. She checked her hair, bit her lip, then knocked on the small wooden door. Authors were eccentric. He could still turn out to be handsome in a rugged way, maybe. Rugged could be attractive. That was the sort of bonus she needed around about now. When there was no answer after the second knock, Jackie turned the handle and, bending down, stepped through the door. It was gloomy after the morning sunlight, and there was an overwhelming sour smell of old tobacco smoke and something else she couldn't and really didn't want to put her finger on. She covered her nose and mouth with her hand and stepped into the boat. Her pencil skirt was tight, and she struggled down the small wooden steps. She put out her hand to the wall for balance, but quickly pulled it away again. Sticky. She looked round for something to wipe her hand on, but seeing just a small, dirty brown curtain hanging at the window, which was filthy enough not to need a curtain, she regretfully wiped her hand down the side of her tights. In front of her, a tarpaulin hung from ceiling to floor across the width of the boat. As Jackie reached to pull it to one side, there was a deep groan behind her. Oh, you from the agency? Mr. Richards? Jackie turned round. Miss. She must have been in her 80s. Hair set in big orange curls with the occasional bald patch. Long sleeved brown cardigan, tweedy trousers and dirty bare feet with the longest, thickest, yellowest toenails Jackie ever wanted to see. I'm Jackie. Good for you. They stared at each other until Jackie couldn't bear to look at her watery eyes anymore, but found herself looking instead at the flapping sleeves of Mrs. Richards' cardigan, both empty from the elbow down. Don't just stand there staring, you've got work to do! Miss Richards bit down on the tarpaulin and yanked it back with her few remaining and deeply stained teeth. As a choking cloud of dust started to settle, Jackie saw a long table down the middle of the boat with a row of 4 old typewriters along each side. Each typewriter was already prepared with a crisp piece of white paper. What's your WPM? Huh? Words per minute. What's your words per minute? I asked for a minimum of 80. I've never checked. Depends how long the words are, I suppose. We'll see. Sit down, get typing. They're typewriters. That's right, Brain of Britain, for typing. I'm used to a computer. I've not used one of those before. You're not using one, you're using all of them. When the ribbon's gone, move along to the next one. So on, till job's done. Right. So you dictate, I type? Oh, fuck no. Whatever you think, you write it. Huh? A story, just make it good, nothing shit. The agency didn't explain. The agency don't know. Well, what should I write? What should it be about? You decide. Don't know where to start. Fucking amateurs! Mrs. Richards pushed her chair across the door to the side with her foot, and in doing so revealed a pile of small, vaguely brown, full and sweaty-looking plastic bags. At least that explained the smell. Jackie hated dogs, and from the look of those bags, this was a big dog. What sort of dog do you have? Mrs. Richards kicked the bags back under the chair and sat down. I ain't got no dog. She leaned over to the side, raised the lid of a small wooden box with the end of her nose, and using her tongue, lifted the cigar into her mouth. Then, putting one dirty, verruca-covered foot up on the table next to Jackie, with unexpected flexibility, she raised the other towards her mouth and clipped the end of the cigar with her toenails. Jackie wanted to leave, but with the only exit she could see now blocked by Ms. Richards. Instead, she lowered herself onto the bench at the first typewriter. Miss Richards blew smoke out of the corner of her mouth. Right, who's your main character? I don't have one. What do you mean you don't have one? What sort of story would that be? Jackie shrugs. Man or a woman? One about a child? No kiddie bollocks! This ain't Harper bloody Collins! A woman then? Good, that's decided. Carry on. Jackie looked down at the typewriter. None of the keys had letters on. It looked as though they had been scratched off. She looked over to the next typewriter. It was the same with that one, and the next. She could touch type on a computer, but she'd have to look at the keys on this, and as soon as she looked at it, she couldn't remember which letters belong in which position. Is this a QWERTY keyboard? Maybe. Mrs. Richards smirked. She was lying back in the chair, eyes closed, orange hair ecstatic on the grubby antimacassar. It might have been the cigar smoke, the toenails, the bags of shit, or the fact that this felt exactly like the reoccurring nightmare she'd had where she'd been taking in the exam she hadn't revised for. Jackie's eyes started to water and she felt sick. Can't hear no typing! Mrs. Richards' toenails tapped impatiently on the table next to Jackie. I'm thinking, what's her name? Your heroine? Jackie? Jackie suggested. She gonna be a slag then? Nah, call her Louise. It's got a bit more class. But give her some balls. You mean make her, like, feisty? No. Actual balls! Mrs. Richards shuffled down in her chair. Wake me up when the first chapter's done. Jackie looked at the typewriter again. And she quickly punched the first 6 keys along the top row, hoping for QWERTY. Instead, they spelled fucked.